Volkswagen plunges, facing criminal charges for cheating on emission standards.
Volkswagen and Audi are pulling many of their diesels out of showrooms.
After the EPA found the automaker cheated on emissions tests for diesel cars.
What if the cleanest car on American roads was secretly built to fool the entire country? Volkswagen didn't just sell cars in the United States, they sold a dream of powerful engines, incredible mileage, and ultra-clean emissions wrapped into one perfect machine. Their commercials showed smiling families, young professionals, students driving across American highways, all proud to own what they believed was one of the most environmentally friendly cars ever built. VW called it clean diesel, the miracle solution that gasoline engines and hybrids could not match. But behind this friendly, trustworthy image, something darker was happening. Inside Volkswagen's engineering departments, teams were installing a hidden software program known as a defeat device. This wasn't a simple trick or a minor adjustment. It was a highly sophisticated code capable of detecting when the car was being tested in controlled laboratory settings. During those tests, the engine automatically shifted to a special mode that drastically reduced emissions so the car would appear clean and compliant with U.S. environmental laws. But once the car returned to real roads, normal driving, highways, cities, the engine switched back to its true behavior. And that behavior was shocking. Instead of producing clean exhaust, these cars were polluting up to 40 times the legal limit for nitrogen oxides, some of the most dangerous pollutants for lungs, children, and the environment. Millions of Americans had no idea. They believed they were helping the planet. They were told they were driving the greenest diesel in the world. In reality, their cars were releasing pollution levels comparable to heavy trucks. What makes this even worse is that Volkswagen promoted these cars aggressively because of the lie. Their entire marketing strategy depended on it. They presented themselves as the hero of the eco-friendly automotive world, while secretly bypassing the very regulations designed to protect Americans. For years, nobody caught them. Not regulators, not scientists, not environmental organizations. Volkswagen was too big, too respected, too trusted, and that trust allowed the fraud to grow to a scale nobody could have imagined. But eventually, everything would crumble. A small team of researchers far outside the world of giant corporations would stumble upon a truth so massive it would shake the global automotive industry. What if a small university lab could uncover a lie that a billion-dollar company tried to hide? In 2014, a modest research team at West Virginia University set out to test diesel emissions on real roads, not in pristine labs, but where Americans actually drive. They expected small differences. Instead, they found something shocking. Volkswagen diesel cars produced nitrogen oxide pollution dozens of times higher on the road than during lab tests. The numbers didn't creep up by a few percent. They exploded. At first, the team assumed error. They rechecked equipment, recalibrated sensors, repeated drives. Same result. They tested different models, different speeds, different conditions. Every real-world test told the same story. VW cars only behaved clean during regulated lab routines. The researchers reported their findings to EPA and California regulators. Volkswagen responded with denials and confusing technical excuses, altitude, driving style, even alleged testing anomalies. But public agencies were not persuaded. Independent data confirmed the gap. The pattern was too consistent, too precise to be a fluke. Behind the scenes, engineers and executives at VW faced a choice: admit a catastrophic failure or keep the facade. The discovery forced regulators to dig deeper, and as pressure mounted, a truth slowly surfaced that would shake the auto industry and upend consumer trust. When the truth comes out, a giant doesn't just stumble, it implodes. Once regulators and journalists connected the dots, Volkswagen's world collapsed fast. Headlines ran around the clock, stock prices plunged, lawsuits multiplied, customers felt betrayed. Internally leaked emails revealed executives had been warned about the defeat device and yet allowed the deception to continue because the clean diesel image was incredibly profitable. This wasn't a single rogue engineer or a small technical bug. It was an organizational choice. Marketing, engineering, and management all played roles in keeping the lie alive. Evidence showed coordinated efforts to evade detection and to present falsified test results to regulators. The scandal went beyond fines or recalls. It exposed how corporate incentives can corrupt decisions that affect public health and the environment. The scale was enormous. Millions of cars worldwide, hundreds of thousands in the U.S. alone. The company scrambled to respond, but the damage was immediate and deep. Executives resigned, criminal probes began, and trust evaporated. For many Americans, the betrayal felt personal. Cars sold as clean were releasing dangerous pollution into neighborhoods, schools, and cities. The corporate meltdown turned a brand story into a cautionary tale about greed and accountability. How do you make a multinational company pay for lying to millions of people? The U.S. response combined financial penalties, criminal charges, and consumer restitution. Volkswagen agreed to pay billions in fines, buybacks, and environmental mitigation. Owners in America were offered buybacks or fixes and financial compensation. Several executives faced criminal indictments. At least one was arrested on U.S. soil. Regulators also demanded extensive investment in clean air projects and stricter oversight. But monetary penalties do more than punish. They aim to deter future wrongdoing and to fund remediation for harm caused. VW's multi-billion-dollar settlement included funding for pollution reduction programs and consumer relief. But many argued that no fine could fully repair the public health damage or restore trust. In the aftermath, Volkswagen pivoted toward electric vehicles and transparency campaigns to rebuild its brand. Dieselgate changed regulatory practices and inspired new testing regimes that emphasize real-world driving conditions. It also left a lasting lesson. When profit motives outweigh ethics, the fallout can reshape entire industries. For American drivers who bought VW on faith, the scandal was a harsh betrayal. For regulators, it was proof that vigilant, independent science matters. For corporations, it was a reminder that legal compliance alone isn't enough if internal incentives reward deception. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like, comment, and share this video, and subscribe for more insane financial scandals that change the world.